Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Easter Monday. No, Easter Sunday. It's Sunday. Welcome to the quick take. Fulham nil, West Ham United 1. Another defeat for Marco Silva or Louis Boumorte's Fulham side. Not the greatest game of football you'll ever see, ever. Ugly game of football. I would describe it as. Not a lot awful in the game. Fulham having the majority of the ball, 76, 77 possession. And the difference was an own goal from Harrison Reed. Ball flashed across the box by Jared Bowen, who I thought had an okay game. And in the net it went. Reed obviously couldn't help it. Just one of those things. Quite similar to the Robinson own goal against Arsenal, albeit it was disallowed. And Fulham were just a bit lackluster. We tried to penetrate the back four of West Ham by putting in about 1 million crosses, all of which were easily dealt with by West Ham's defence. And look, I mean, is it the end of the world? No. Is it annoying? Yeah, because, it's not nice to lose game after game after game of football. Are we missing Mitrovic? Yes. He is very key to the way we played. Let's talk about individual performances. I thought Leno was good, made a couple of very, very good saves again. Tosin, who came in for Diop, was very good. Cedric, who came in for Tete, was not very good. Quite frustrating on the ball at times. Tete ended up replacing him in the second half. And yeah, Harrison Reed with the own goal, very disappointing. Carlos Vinicius up top, couldn't really hold up the ball, couldn't really link play. Willian was okay, but he was being doubled up. And in fact, every time the ball went out wide, when it was Willian or at least Solomon when he came on as well, they were doubling, tripling up on them and stopping crosses and stopping shots coming in. But it was a bit futile from Fulham. It was a bit repetitive. The sequences of play, especially in the first half, were literally the same thing. It was quite predictable. And a lot of people are saying that Fulham are becoming a predictable team to watch at the moment. And I think in the second half, we tried to switch it up a little bit. We were putting less crosses in and trying to just pass our way through the box, outside the box, into the box. Pereira, for me, was poor. And I don't think everyone had a good game, really. We miss Mitrovic because the difference is between Vinicius and Mitrovic is that Mitrovic will drop deep, link the play, then run forward towards the box, and there's options on. And when he does that, he holds the ball up really, really well and attracts defenders away from their original positions, which opens up space. And boy, do we miss him. Boy, do we miss him. However, Chelsea lost again. I mean, we've lost 4 in a row in the Premier League, and we're still above Chelsea on goal difference. I mean, that is hilarious. Let's get into some comments because it's not going to be a long one today. It really isn't. There's not much to talk about. It is the quick take, of course. James, we're absolutely rubbish at the moment. Really, for the last 10 plus games, still need to sort out a plan B. The aimless balls into the box need to stop. Yeah. You can harp it all the way back to like the Wolves game to now. I mean, I can't remember, apart from Manchester United away, where, of course, we played Mitrovic and he was brilliant. We were brilliant that day. We haven't been very good of late. We are just lucky we have the points tally that might just see us over the line, although hitting 40 points is going to be a challenge. No, not a challenge. We're 1 point away. 40 points is a challenge to get there at the moment because we're just not picking up any points. And then James adds a further comment with, although we missed Mitro, we're playing rubbish before he got suspended. Yeah, I mean, that's also true. Like we've been off par for like I said, quite a while, but that United game, we were very good. Very good. And we know what happened there. Jack Stroudley, who's he? He says, think the issue is that Vinicius is treated the same as Mitrovic. Mitro is strong in the air. Vinicius is better with the ball at his feet. Some key passes against Brighton, Cherries, and yesterday. Yeah, um, they're just two different styles of striker, albeit the same build, but they bring two different things. And if Vinicius hadn't scored that goal against Chelsea, he would have been hounded out by now. But he has that moment that sort of made the Fulham fans still be on side with him. I don't really know what else to talk about. We've only been going 5 minutes, but let's talk about West Ham. Massive defeat in the week. I've been to the last 3 West Ham games. They've won 1-0, lost 5-1, and then won 1-0 again. I think they'll have enough to survive. I think they'll have enough to survive because, well, we could talk about the other results. Maybe we'll do that on the Jack and Joe show. But this game specifically, they had a game plan. I was very surprised, actually. But when they took the lead and came up for the second half, they just were happy to sit back and defend. And the West Ham fans were not happy with certain substitutions. They were saying to Moyes, "You don't know what you're doing." I can imagine, because it's just inviting the pressure on. And luckily for them, we just weren't very good in the final third. When Tom Cairney came on, he was brilliant. He was the only player that was sort of giving some sort of initiative. But yeah, it was a sorry tale, really. Was Sasha Lukic on the bench? Because he didn't come on, did he? He was on the bench. He didn't come on. Interesting. It's not easy for Marco Silva, who was way up in the gods in the Riverside stand with Boa Morte taking charge. He must have been very frustrated, and he's obviously got another touchline ban for the game against Everton next week. But for West Ham, that's a big win. And, there were some big results yesterday. Reminded that Chelsea and Brentford also lost, so it's not all as bad. Let's have a look at some of the comments. I haven't gotten around to see the game yet. Are we trying to play the way we play with Mitrovic, exact same with Vinicius? I think so. And that's a problem because, like I said, they're two very different strikers. The problem is that Mitrovic is out now for another six games, I think, 6 or 7. No, it can't be 7. 6, maybe. Yeah. So we're going to have to deal with this issue for the next 6 games. And the last time we played without either Mitrovic or Vinicius up top was against Brighton and Hove Albion away, where Bobby De Cordova-Reid was playing up front. And remember, from that game, we created nothing apart from the last minute, which ironically Vinicius set up. And I do wonder whether we might switch back to that next week against Everton. Because we know what we're going to expect from Everton. It's going to be a horrible game. In fact, that game on paper looks dross. But I wonder whether playing Bobby De Cordova-Reid up front just for the first 60, 70 minutes to see how it goes. And if we do need an option like Vinicius, we can bring him on. Because if we play Willian on the right and on the left, we play Solomon, there could be opportunity there. And Bobby Reid is obviously quite good at getting in behind as well. He's not blessed with raw pace as such, but it's another option. And it sort of takes away from this quite predictable style of play we're playing at the moment, where we're just trying to lump it up to the target man and nothing's really sticking, or, going wide and then wide again and then crossing the balls into the box, which is headed away by the defenders quite easily. James with another comment. Do you think Marco needs to take some criticism for not changing our patterns of play? Not sure where our fast counter-attacking from last season has gone. Well, fast counter-attacking, we've seen quite a lot this season for Fulham. But in a game like yesterday, there weren't any chances to counter-attack because we were in complete domination and control of the ball. And even against Everton, I reckon Everton will probably let us have the ball. And they'll look at the game yesterday and go, we're more than happy with Fulham to have the ball, because if they keep doing what they did yesterday, we'll have them for breakfast. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, they'll just easily head it away with the likes of Tarkowski and Keane. I know it's a bit grim and a bit stale, but let's just, people saying yesterday we're still in a relegation battle. No, we're not. We're literally not, because the amount of teams that are below us and the amount of points they'd all need to pick up to drag us into it. And bear in mind, they play each other as well. Like they're all playing each other at some point. It's not that feasible. If we lose on X3 and we're still on 39, then maybe there's cause for concern, but it's minimal. I think even before the West Ham game, we were 2,500 to 1 to go down still with Sky Bet. So I wouldn't be concerned about that. It's just all about getting to the end of the season and just sort of having a little bit of a refresh, look at the squad and see where we need to improve. That's the exciting thing about this. Like, albeit it's rubbish right now, it can only get better. And in the summer, we're going to have a lot of time. Even now, we have a lot of time because, yeah, look at this. I think there's too much doom and gloom at the moment. We're 10th in the league. We're not getting relegated. Successful season, even if we finish even if we finish 17th. Completely. I mean, I wasn't in the Hammersmith end yesterday, but apparently there was a lot of frustration at full time. I get it. 4 defeats in a row is never nice. But we're still 10th. That's quite a nice place to be with, I can't remember how many games. We've got 8 games left this season now. And yeah, we've got to play teams who are down there fighting for points. Everton, Leeds, Southampton, Palace, Leicester, we've still got to play. You can tell by my energy, I just don't really have much more to say, really. I just think that Fulham just in a bad moment. And it happens. But it is worrying. It's worrying that we're not playing very well at the moment. We've lost that spark from the first half of the season. And I don't want the season to end and the main takeaway to be for Fulham fans or the wider footballing world that, oh, Fulham were great and then they tailed off and they ended the season poorly. We should look back at it and go, Fulham flew out the blocks and were really, really good. And mitigating circumstances, like an 8-game ban for one player is quite unique. You never really see that. Whether you think it was 8 games or more, whether it's a boring conversation, I can't be asked to have it anymore. I would personally, I'll look back on this season, whatever happens, like if still, let's say we just finished 11th, I'll still look back and say it was a great season. Because we all thought we were going to go down or finish 17th or in August. I've said it every week. I get bored of it. I'm getting bored of justifying it. Anyway, the positives. It's Easter Sunday. It's roast lamb day. Happy days. I'm absolutely fizzing for the roast lamb later. Let's have a look at this comment. If Chris Kavanagh gets the referee our last game of the season, I will not be happy. No, I don't think that, given what happened, I don't think that Chris Kavanagh will be refereeing the game for the rest of the season for Fulham. Maybe even next season, but we'll see. There was a lot of VAR nonsense this weekend with in the Brighton game. I've yet to watch the match of the day. I'm going to watch it as soon as we finish up here, which should be now because we're going on far too long for a 1-0 loss. And apparently Brighton were very, very hard done by. That's what I've heard and seen, and maybe that's the case, but. And even the West Ham goal, was it a handball yet again against West Ham United? Kufal with both hands up, and I'm amazed they didn't look at it. Do you know what I mean? Like I said it a couple of years ago. It's almost like they get lazy because it's near the end of the season. It's not that big of a game. Well, it is a big game. It was a huge game for West Ham. Anyway, I've lost my train of thought. We'll leave it there. Hold on. I don't think Chris Kavanagh will referee a Fulham game if Mitchell is still contracted to the club, considering he did fear for his life. Yeah, if I speak, I'm in trouble. Fulham lose again, but we'll be off to Goodison Park next week for my sins. And I tell you what, if we win at Goodison, it'd be quite funny. And it'd be very good to finally get to 42 points or 40 points or whatever, because it's been a long wait for that. But hey, Fulham are 10th, and we're all right. We're not threatened with relegation. And given the PTSD you'll get from the past 2 Premier League campaigns, I'm fine with that. That is fine. And there we have it. Thanks so much for watching. Come on, Fulham. We'll be back on Wednesday with another Jack and Joe show where we'll be previewing the game at Goodison Park. And yeah, well, thanks so much for watching. Enjoy your Easter Sunday. Enjoy your roast lamb if you're having one. And come on, Fulham.